Hello, and I am Reverend Ryan Pulley, and we are the Soul Evolution Collaborative, and this is Stripped Down Sunday, where we unchurch your Sunday experience. And so we're thrilled to have this opportunity this time to have a little fun, hopefully offer up some spiritual upliftment and some things to really think about this week as we are all journeying together on this path, this thing we call life. And so we have a strong desire to bring this message to the world. And I think that we can all agree that now is the time that we need this most. And so we are dedicated here at Soul Evolution Collaborative to not only personal transformation, but communal evolution. So before we get in the topic this week, which is laughter, I just want to cover two quick things. Everything that you could need to know or want to know about Soul Evolution Collaborative and what we are and what we do and how you can get involved. You can find it on our website, soulevolutioncollaborative.org. And so we are so grateful for so many who have been journeying on this path with us. We've had a lot of fun since we've started, and we will continue to do that. And so it's communities like ours that are really committed to bringing spiritual principles to the world in new, innovative, and maybe not so normal ways sometimes, which is the fun and the adventure of it. And so if just really trying to bring the up-leveling of the consciousness of the world and really kind of creating a new earth, which is a super exciting adventure. And so if you are in any way, this calls to you to partner with us from a financial standpoint to support this ministry, you can go to soulevolutioncollaborative.org and click on the donate button. And we're always grateful for the support that's been provided, because it's people like you that support people like us, and it's just this beautiful partnership, and we're so excited to do that with you. So this week we're talking about laughter, and I promise I'm not going to open up with any corny jokes. I think that we covered most of that in our Truth Be Told video of the week, but I really just kind of want to talk about laughter as a spiritual practice, and what does that even look like, and is that even possible? So laughter, and I'm not talking about laughter at the expense of someone or laughter that puts down others. So if we could just remove that sort of humor from our conversation, I really just want to focus in on that laughter, that pure laughter, that those opportunities, those experiences that really stir within us this emotion. And so what we know about laughter is, from an anthropological standpoint, it is something that has been in existence for millions of years within the human evolution. And it's this thing that across the years has remained this really integral part of the human experience, and actually a very complex mechanism within the brain, how laughter works and then how it shows up in our experience. So the very fact that it has remained with us, I think, really points to that it is this universal blueprint. And what we know is that we are this blueprint of the divine. And so, of course, if that's what is out picturing in us, then it must be this integral, beautiful, wonderful part of this universal presence. And so I just really want to talk about, just for a moment, kind of what that looks like and how that out pictures and how that shows up in our life. And that laughter really is a spiritual practice. So here we go. I've got a few points, and of course, any talk that about this, we have to have a few points that we can really focus our time. And so the first point, laughter. Laughter creates space. A space from what is to what can be. So it's, I don't know if you've ever been in this experience of you're hanging out with someone or you're watching something, or you have a thought, and you were in one place one moment, and then all of a sudden there's this laughter or humor or something, and you respond to, and then all of a sudden you're in a different place. And so it's created this space from what was to what can be. And so laughter does this for us. It kind of creates these tiny cracks in our awareness. And it's in those cracks, those times, those moments where we experience laughter and joy and all the things that get swirled up in this expression. It creates a very tiny crack in our awareness. And then that just kind of opens this gateway to possibility. We kind of get lost in that moment, whatever is funny, whatever is bringing us joy and humor and laughter in that moment. And then everything else kind of fades around us, and right, we're kind of in the experience, in the throes of it. It's really kind of hard to put words to it, but we know it when we feel it, that we're in that moment. Things are hilarious, it's funny, we're jubilant, we're jovial, we may be crying, we may be snorting liquid out of our nose, whatever. It's like we're in that experience and everything else fades. So it creates this space, this expansion. And Karl Barth, who was a Christian theologian, said that laughter is the closest thing to the grace of God. And, Karl Barth was using a Christian lens, but I think that translates in our understanding, in our religious science of mind understanding, that laughter, this becomes this gateway, that we are totally engrossed in this experience. We're totally sinking into this space that we've created, and everything else kind of falls away. And so it kind of exemplifies this closeness to the divine, where we are so much connected to it that all thoughts of the opposite fall away. And I think laughter really demonstrates that. And, Reinhold Niebuhr, another Christian theologian, noted that humor is the prelude to faith, and laughter is the beginning of a prayer. And so once again, it points to this idea that laughter, these experiences, this emotional experience, this collective experience that we have and that we can engage in and intentionally engage in, really creates space. It creates this openness for us to really sink in to that space that this presence resides in. Another thing laughter does for us is it shifts our focus. And so Viktor Frankl, who was the founder of logotherapy and also a Holocaust survivor, and wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. And I think that we can all agree that he experienced kind of the depths of trauma and the depths of despair and what humans can do to one another. He experienced that on a real level. But he said that humor, more than anything else in the human makeup, can afford an aloofness and an ability to rise above any situation, if only for a few seconds. And once again, that's speaking to that space, that's speaking to that shift in focus. And it's those few seconds that are the doors that give us a peek into our divine essence. Those few seconds where all limitations kind of fall away and we're immersed in the moment, whether it's laughter or whether it's experiences of joy or experiences of love. Those qualities that we know to be the very divine presence itself, any of those things that bring us into that moment of pure experience of it, it really gives us a little peek into who we are. And so it pulls us out of these ruminations of who we are not, and instead it connects us to that experience. It connects us to what we are. And this is a truth that's understood by great religious teachers and practitioners and people along the spiritual path, that these emotions that we experience can give us a window into that blueprint for which we exist. And laughter is exactly the same way. It's exactly the same way as those experiences of joy and love and peace and those typical, sexy, spiritual understandings of things. But laughter can also be that. It creates space. It shifts our focus. It allows us to fully participate and connect with that presence. Who knew? But the more I think about it, the more I realize that this is just another key of unlocking our ability to connect more and more to that truth. And so laughing is one of those kind of signals that our perspective is changing. And you've probably done it. You're kind of going about your day and you see something funny or hear something funny, or you just remember a memory that brings a smile to your face, and all of a sudden you're laughing, and you're kind of in this experience of joy and exuberance and hilarity. And that laughing has signaled this change in perspective. And so whether we're laughing because we got caught off guard with something, or we laugh because we see things in a new light, it really does shift our awareness in that moment. So this practice of laughter, this practice of putting ourselves in situations where we can fully experience life, it really helps to reawaken us to the wonder and delight of seeing things in a new way, like in the moment, shifting our perspective. And I think laughter also encourages us to let go. And Baal Shem Tov, who's the founder of the Jewish Hasidic movement, noted that humor is that thing that ushers a person's mind from a place of constricted consciousness to a place of expanded consciousness. And we can feel it. I don't know about you, but I can feel it when I've been in a moment of like seriousness or stress, and then I kind of let what hair I have down and allow myself to laugh, or to enjoy a moment, or to enjoy interaction with friends that brings laughter. It really brings, after I've had the experience, and after you've had the experience of just laughter, like that belly laughing or that ugly laughing, or you just know what it looks like. And when you, after that experience, your body feels relaxed and rejuvenated, and it just creates a little bit more space. And it's really hard to describe the feeling in words, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Is that we feel alive, we feel vital. Those chemicals that have been stirred in our brain, and those cortisol that's been lowered, and then the serotonin and all the other chemicals are being released in that moment. And then we feel it. We feel that that relief of stress. We feel that just openness to what's next. And I think that's our body's natural way of bringing balance. And we know that we are this blueprint of the divine. And so each and every aspect of our humanness is geared to support that. And we can see that physiologically, we can see that neurologically, that we are hardwired for this, for the enjoyment of life, for the balance of life. And so this laughter encourages us just to let go, to sink into that moment, to enjoy that moment, and experience that expansive effect afterwards. And so really encourages us to release our grip on the to-dos that we have to do, or the how we have to be, or the how we need to show up, and just allows us to show up authentically, and laughter encourages us to let go of these constrictions and really just show up who we are. And when we do that, we invite others to do the same. And we've talked about that a lot. And so this experience of laughter encourages that. And laughter is the glue of community. And once again, it's like my words just can't put the right words around this, but we know it when we experience it. That laughter is such a state of authenticity, that which we know is the building block of community, the building blocks of belonging. And so an example of this, and like I said, it's hard to put words in it, but I can just give you an example. The past 2 weeks, we've had an experience at the gathering, at least I have, where we've been a little less serious, and we've stepped into this spiritual practice of laughter, having fun, not taking ourselves too seriously. And what's been amazing is that it has from the way I've experienced it, I have experienced just a zooming in of closeness with this group of people, this zooming in of this feeling of being able to show up authentically, that I don't have to show up the super serious spiritual leader who has all the answers, but instead I can show up as my silly self. And that is an aspect of the divine. And when I do that, when I highlight that aspect, then I invite other people to do the same. And what happens is this just spotlight of the wholeness of the divine experience that is our life. And so afterward, we have left this experience of the gathering, which I would encourage all of you to take a little sneak peek into this fun at the gathering on Thursday nights. But we've really experienced this expansion of what it means to be in community. And we've done this through laughter, and it really is the glue. It's the thing that binds us, that holds us together. It's the thing that we can lean into in times that are challenging. And so I wonder, like, what is it about these times and these experiences and these people? And you know what? You've had that friend that is just so super funny, that it's so fun to be around. You just love being around this person. They make you laugh. It could be a group of people. They make you laugh. You have fun. You really feel yourself. And what is it that draws us to these people? What is it that draws us to these experiences? It's almost like there's a call, there's an urge within us to create these spaces, to step into these experiences, to hang with these certain folks. And what is it? What draws us to these situations that bring us laughter and joy? And I think it's more than just it makes us feel good. But I think what it is that call back home. It's back home to the truth of who we are. It's a reminder of the blueprint of the universe that's within all of us. That place of expansiveness, that place of possibilities, that place of allowing, and yes, that place of connection. And that's what laughter does. It pulls us into the direction of home. That very essence, the very truth of who we are. And Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science Mind, kind of encapsulates this perfectly when he says, there's a laughter of God, let's laugh it. There's a song of the universe, let's sing it. There's a beauty hymn of praise, let's praise it. There's a joy, a beauty, there's a deep, abiding peace. Let's experience it. So my encouragement for you this week is to seek out those experiences. And it can be hard in the times that we live in and the things that we see outpictured in our world. It can be hard to find those experiences, to find those people. But I encourage you to laugh a little today, to draw close to those experiences, draw close to those people. And you might just find that you're home.